and I'm a service designer. I try and make products and processes better for people. My first exposure to design was actually in a high school art class. At the age of 17, I didn't really know what design was. Our art teacher asked us to design our dream home. I not only designed my dream home, but every single thing within it. I'm talking vases, the toilet, kitchen knives. I found that I was really interested in objects and researching about those objects. So I have a lot to thank that high school teacher for, as when I handed in that assignment, they suggested that I study design. I honestly didn't know what that meant. This encouraged me to do a little bit of research and to understand that design happens everywhere, and that anything that doesn't happen by accident or come from nature actually happens via design. I was a creative student who cared a lot about people and was interested in storytelling, in English, in engineering, in graphics. I was interested in a lot of things. So after being told that I should study a Bachelor of Product Design, which my high school art teacher drew my attention to, I found out that entry into that course was actually more competitive than medicine in Queensland, where I'm from. So I decided to get into any course that I could and move sideways into design. So I did a Bachelor of Creative Arts for a year, and I got to do illustration, life drawing, the history of modern and postmodern design, which I loved the most. Actually, it was more art history, but the design is what I sort of researched myself. And so I got my very average marks up to a competitive mark where I could transfer into product design. The thing about product designers in Australia, what you would now understand to be an industrial designer, is that there's far more designers than there are jobs. Particularly then, when I graduated in 2003, there were very, very few product design or furniture design jobs in Australia. So every single job that I got, I turned into an opportunity to learn. So I got a job as a graphic designer in an outdoor lighting company, and finally they allowed me to help them out on a project and design some outdoor furniture. So a little bit of experience goes a long way, particularly hands-on real life experience. I worked in the manufacturing and design field for 14 years or so. I designed furniture, bathroom furniture for a national company, but I also did a lot of jobs just to make ends meet, and took any small opportunity I had to explore the creation or the manufacturing of things and turned it into experience. In 2010, I decided to move to Melbourne. So I moved from Queensland to Melbourne, and I moved away from my experience, my connections, and my good job. And I started at the bottom again. And what I learned by falling back on my old skills, which was selling, front of house, retail design, interior design, was that everything is design and everything is transferable and everything is useful in terms of experience. So after working as a furniture designer, which did not pay my rent, I had a job in retail which paid my rent. I decided to study, and by investing in myself and studying a master's, a whole new world opened up to me. When I started my master's, I thought that I was going to study manufacturing and logistics, and that I would be able to help businesses become more sustainable in their manufacture of furniture and homewares. But when I finished my master's, I found that I could use my people skills and my research skills to make any product or service better. And this was extremely exciting to me, that seemingly complex organisations or seemingly poorly funded or really tricky health or legal systems are things that I could intervene in, think about, converse with people about, and empower them to change. That's what human-centered design is. It allows us to interrogate a problem in the context of the real world and with the people who are affected by it at the centre of it. I've been a design consultant for a few years now, and I've worked on everything from health insurance to state and local government, helping to redesign the tourism experience for visitors to Melbourne, working on bushfire prediction for the state of Victoria, working with Victorians who live with a disability to help them access finances. All of these things I've been able to investigate and map out and understand and help people to redesign through a human-centered design process, understanding how services delivered, understanding the things that are really annoying people, understanding the things that we can actually change. Design Applied is a passion project of mine. I simply built the website and started to interact with people who were interested in researching how their organisations might be able to do things differently. And also I built the website to have a story to tell, to show people what I do. I'm really passionate about empowering young people. And when I say that, I mean just giving teenagers the opportunity to work through a design problem and be exposed to what service design is, what human-centered design looks like in practice. I quite honestly find that teenagers are the best designers. We're talking very little fear, we're talking great awareness of their communities and what they want to change, and the ability to just give it a go. I intend to run human-centered design workshops for teens, and I'm looking at funding to do that. But most importantly, help anybody understand how design can change their organisation, improve a process or a product, and improve their product through very little effort, or the least amount of effort to see the most amount of change. I'll give an example. If somebody was going to do a workshop on design, an ideation workshop, that's where we throw around a lot of different ideas. Let's say that it was about how we can improve the community around us in our suburb. There's so many things you could do. You could change the recycling system, you could improve cycling, or it could be as simple as posters to help people connect in the local neighbourhood. By working through the system, working through your ideas in an organised fashion and recording them, even as something as simple as a post-it note, you can identify the ideas that are good but not able to be executed with your resources, the ideas that are good but maybe will take too long and more people than you've got, or the ideas that are actually something you could start doing now with zero cash. That's the power of thinking in a structured way. You can identify solutions that are manageable, doable, and make a real difference. Which leads me to service design. So service design is what it sounds like. It's redesigning services. But to redesign a service, you have to see the service. When we ride a tram, that's a service. When we order a video game online, that's a service. When we sign up for a class, that's a service. So everything that it takes to deliver what you're experiencing is what a service designer looks at. So from you touching your microcard to getting on that tram, a service designer needs to understand the technology behind the card, needs to understand how people move through the city and how tram drivers live their lives every day on the track. A service designer looks at everything below the surface to inform what somebody actually experiences. I like to say that I'm looking for small, unglamorous changes that add up to a lot of impact. Something I'm really proud of is when I worked in the state government on a disability card. Through some research, we found that it takes about 9 weeks for somebody to know if they are eligible for this card or not, because not every person who has a disability is eligible for the card. So in that 9 weeks, they are getting letters from specialists, they're gathering a lot of paperwork, and they're wasting a lot of their own time to see if they can access the service. A really, really important change that we made was that on the front page of the website, after doing our research, we were able to let people know the top 3 things that would mean that they qualify for the card or they don't. This meant that many, many less people were applying for the card and wasting their time and their family's time. So sometimes it's a simple communication change or a really common sense solution that can make all the difference to people. My advice to anybody who's interested in a non-traditional design path or human-centered design or service design specifically is that there are many paths to it. I personally know a lot of service designers who have such varied backgrounds. I can tell you transferable skills from a retail background, transferable skills from graphic design, transferable skills from hotel management make you a fabulous service designer, because it's about reading people, being able to translate ideas in and out clearly, and to bring people along on an exploration of something that is unfinished and ill-defined. You need to define it together. I think it's important that you remember that many types of people need to be in design. We need people from all types of backgrounds, all types of disciplines, all types of education levels, because the world is made up of services that cater to so many different types of people. If there's something you know about, you'll find a design project that you can be valuable in. The other thing is you don't have to spend a lot of money on courses to gain experience and to explore ideas. Yes, YouTube is great. IDEO is fantastic. Other countries are a lot more mature and a lot more built out in their experience. In the UK, for example, almost every type of organisation has a service designer. So look to online resources that are free. Look to Hyper Island, look to IDEO, and sign up for a free course. That's what I did. I signed up for a free 6-week course in human-centered design, and we did a lot of research around food stability in children's hospitals. And that helped me understand what I would really be learning about in my master's. On the same token, you need experience to get experience, but you can create your own opportunities for experience. You don't have to be paid for the work to include a case study in your CV. And for high school students, it doesn't hurt to explore ideas that are not being taught to you at school, or take a high school project that you are being marked for and that you need to do. Often they're quite broad and you can make it what you want. Like I did with the Design Your Dream Home project, you can do the same. Explore what you're passionate about and work on those things so that one day you can get paid to work on what you're passionate about. My advice to teachers is that, as you know, critical thinking and qualitative research and interrogating problems in a structured way is a skill of the future. Where technology will make some things null and void, critical thinking skills will always be required. You'll always need somebody to work out how that technology can help us, and you'll always need someone to validate if that technology is helping us. These people are designers, these people could be your students. Wherever possible, if you can partner with industry to allow the students opportunities to work in real world settings, I've found that invaluable. We had a really passionate lecturer in the first year of my product design degree who partnered with a local council, and we as product design students got to design the exhibition stand for an international trade show. So that meant that we had to have a client, interact with that client, build a brief, build a prototype, ship that prototype overseas. That time frame and ability to work on something that the students could see unfold, that gave us so much confidence in our own abilities, and a blueprint of how you work through design processes in the real world. So to give your students a blueprint for how they work through design process in the real world, think about giving them a project that they need to explore the real world to deliver. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope that it's helped you think more about what you're capable of. Subscribe for more design inspiration to 100 Designers Say.